Okay, congratulations, Hamid, on being the inaugural winner of the inaugural SuperDad Network Dad of the Month Award. Congratulations and welcome, and thank you for your time, for giving us your time to enlighten the dad community a little bit more about yourself and about the award as well. Firstly, where are you from, and maybe what do you do? Just a brief insight on yourself.
Okay, I'm from a small town called Pirsutif originally in Pumalanga. We are on the border of Swaziland. I'm staying in Pretoria now for the last about 11 years. Started my family here. I'm based here. I work for a pharmaceutical company. We manufacture and distribute pharmaceutical products.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So it's a full-time career. It's probably a very intensive and busy job, and I'm assuming, given this, what's happening with Corona and COVID right now, you guys are quite hands-on.
Gigi, we are. We've been busy right through. Everyone talks about how they worked from home during lockdown and stayed home and didn't have a chance to go out. And for us, it was like normal. We didn't have that. We worked right through. It was like a normal day going to work.
So you guys are our frontline workers, and for that, another commendation, and thank you for the effort that you guys have been putting in. I think everybody in the country appreciates that.
Exactly.
So you are the dad of who? What's your, how many kids? What are the ages? Tell us about.
I've got a daughter, Hassana Mansoor. She's 3 years old. She turned 3 in May. She's basically everything to me.
I'm sure she's a bundle of joy. 3 years old, it's a busy age. It's a fun age as well. And I'm sure you've got lots of anecdotes that you could probably share. Tell us a bit more about what your daughter is like.
Well, she's very talkative. She doesn't stop talking. She's active. She's on her feet from the time she wakes up. She doesn't like to go to sleep, which is a fight every evening. But yeah, she's the reason you wake up every morning with a smile on your face. She's the reason why we go to work, why we do what we do. It's all about them. It's all about putting a smile on their faces, making them happy, showing them, trying to give them everything that you had and what you didn't have as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm going to read out the description that was submitted for your entry. Right. Firstly, were you aware that you're being nominated for this award?
No, I wasn't aware.
Okay.
I had no idea. When I saw the email, I still asked my wife what she wrote, and she says no, she doesn't remember what she wrote.
Okay, well, I'm going to read that out to you. Your entry was submitted by your wife. We've got an independent panel of judges. So we've got 4 judges. I'm one of them. We've got Brother Idris Kamisa. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. Leading human development specialist. Khalid Jasat is a leading life coach. Naeem Akuji is a senior IT operations manager, all senior dads and quite experienced in what they do. So your entry came out unanimously ahead of the others. And this was what basically won it for you. People often talk about heroes, about them saving towns and cities. My husband is not the fictional hero you see on television. He is real flesh and bone. He is kind, compassionate, and smart. He's always there for his child, going the extra mile. When our baby was born, I was unable to care for her due to surgery. He woke up and did night feeds with me. He helps to feed her, bathe her, dress her. He plays with her when she wants to have tea parties. He teaches her how to fix things because every girl should know how to knock a nail and change a tire. He does it all. He works full time. He is a hands-on dad and still has the time to romance me and have hobbies. He does all this and still has a smile and a kind word for every person. There is no one who deserves to win this award more than my husband. That was from your wife. I can tell from the entry when we read it that this was from the bottom of her heart. And how do you feel? How do you feel hearing that?
I'm emotional. I have no words right now. She's sitting here across me. She's asking me if I want a tissue.
That that description is what moved, I think, all of us, all the judges, and there's not an aspect of being a dad, I suppose, right now, which you are not tapping into, and that for me is a fantastic feat. It's a fantastic achievement. It's not easy. I'm a dad to 3 teenage girls, so I know exactly what it takes. Um, how do you feel about winning this award, Mohammed?
It's an honor. I've, 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 looked up to a lot of different people, um, to basically try and be, a good dad to my daughter and try and give her everything that she wants and needs. And it's an honor, really.
Tell me, what is it about being a dad that you enjoy the most?
The best part of it, I'd say, is when you come home from work after a long day and she's standing at the gate waiting for me. And no matter how bad your day was, the moment you see that those small that smile in those eyes, everything is better. There's nothing matters anymore. It's everything is okay. Everything is okay. When she comes to the door and she gives you a hug, the moment I come home from work, my daughter has a habit. She'll run from wherever she is. She'll run to the door and she'll shout, "Daddy, daddy, daddy," and she gives me a hug, and that's the best thing ever.
Awesome. Excellent. Now, being a dad has its upsides. There's lots of upsides. It's got a few downsides as well, I'm sure. What about being a dad do you not like? Or what do you like the least, if I can put it that way?
The early mornings, there's no such thing as sleeping in anymore. Especially with my little one. She wakes up in the morning, she wants cereal, and Daddy's got to get out of bed and give it to her, and I must sit with her. I can't give it to her and go back to bed. I've got to
Okay,
sit
so
with her. It's no early mornings. That's for me. That was something that I really didn't like initially, but I guess I get used to it now. Um, yeah, I suppose for me that was one thing that I didn't like the most.
okay, and that's, I suppose, one of the many sacrifices that we have to make as dads, eh? Sleep.
Yeah, no.
You might be able to catch up on your sleep when she gets a bit older. Who would you say is your role model as a dad? Could be somebody living or could be somebody who's passed on. Who have you looked up to as an example to draw values on, an example as a dad?
I think I looked up to my dad a lot. Um, my dad gave us basically we 5 siblings. I've got a brother and 3 sisters. Um, my elder sister, her husband passed away when her kids were very young. So my nephews also came to stay with us. Myself and my 2 nephews, we similar ages, and we basically grew up together. And my dad was always there for us, and he he basically went out of his way to do everything for us. I'm the youngest of all the siblings, and he made us. I mean, he was a bit older when I was still a kid, but you never felt it. He still made time in his day to come outside with us, kick a soccer ball with us, throw a ball, play cricket with us, and we never. It was. I think even my nephews, they never felt it as much as a person who go up without their completely would. Um, and I think that played a big part in how I want to be for my children.
So your dad was always present for you, and always somebody that you could easily converse with, easily could speak to, take any
Someone
issue
you
to
could
him.
rely on, someone who you knew would be there for you, and someone who you could go to in any situation.
And what does that give you as a child, knowing that you've got somebody to go to no matter what?
I'd like to say security, um, the feeling of being secure in a relationship. I mean, that's something that everyone needs, whether you're a child or an adult. That's something that you need throughout your life, and I think that's the main thing.
We all have certain aspirations or aims or goals for our kids. And most times we try not to project our unfulfilled goals onto our kids. But it would be normal, I suppose, for every parent, mom and dad, to have some aspirations for their kids. What aspirations come to mind for you, for your daughter?
Well, my daughter, as I said, she's 3, and she says she wants to be a doctor already.
Okay.
So, well, at the end of the day, it's whatever she wants. My wife and I have discussed this, and which school she's going to go to, and what she wants to do, and how you're going to go about it. And at the end of the day, I feel that that decision should be made, should be left to her. If she feels comfortable doing something, that's what you're going to look to do. Because it doesn't make sense pushing someone into doing something that they aren't happy with. I mean, I might say that, you know what, I wanted to be a teacher, and it's not something she's comfortable with. 10 years down the line, she's the one that's sitting in the job, not me. And she's the one that's going to be affected by it. So, inshallah, if I have it my way, she'll get to choose what she wants to do, and inshallah, I'll be able to support her.
So you echoing the sentiment of many dads in that you would be playing a supporting role to try and help her to achieve what she wants to achieve, what she sets out to achieve. You'll be there to support her, and to give her the necessary backing with whatever she chooses to do.
Inshallah, that's the idea.
Fantastic. With having a very busy 3-year-old, having a job full-time, a busy job, having a doting wife to look after as well, and doing all the other things that you do as a dad, how do you make time for yourself? Or when do you make time for yourself?
Well, weekends are my time usually. My wife, she paints in her free time. My sister-in-law do the same thing, and as you can imagine, a busy 3-year-old would love that as well. So she's got her own paints and her own painting set. She's got her own chalkboard. Yes, she wants your attention at times, and you've got to leave whatever it is you're doing to give her the attention. But she also enjoys that. And while she's busy with it, I have time, like playing a game of FIFA or watching a game of football. That's what I enjoy. And I guess sometimes you just got to sacrifice. You might miss that last minute goal or something like that, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
So those would be some of your hobbies. What keeps your mind refreshed, if I can ask that way? What are some of the things you like doing outside of being a full-time dad?
Well, I really enjoy sport. I'm very passionate about football. I watch almost every game in the Premier League. I play a lot of FIFA as well when I have time. Um, yeah, I like going out, spending time with family. Basically, I enjoy going out with my family. I take them out whenever I can. I suppose that keeps you refreshed also.
Fantastic, and you need that, eh? It's
Yes,
important to have that, because I know of I've had that experience, and I know of many dads as well who've given and given and given, and mums as well, to the point of exhaustion and to the point of where there's nothing left for themselves. So if you're not giving time for yourself to fill your own cup, you're not going to be able to play your role, which you're very passionate about as a dad. You're not going to be able to play that fully or to the best of your ability. So it's very important that we have that balance. And I like that you do make time for yourself. Obviously, your wife has said that you make the time to treat her and to look after her and to romance her. And then, it's a fine balancing act between your child, between your home, between your wife, between your family, and finding time for yourself. So congratulations on it. It's a fine balance, and then hopefully it's something that can be navigated continuously as you go forward.
Inshallah, hopefully you will.
Mohammed, one last question I have for you. For other dads listening in on this interview or watching this interview, what is some advice that you would share with a dad to be, or an existing dad, or even dads who've got older kids?
Listen to your child. That's, for me, is the most important thing. Your child is always trying to tell you something, whether it's a child that's 2 months old or a child that's 2 years old. Your child is always communicating with you. Whether it's about how she's feeling, what she wants to do, what she doesn't like, something that she doesn't want to do, she's always communicating with you. It's in their facial expressions, it's in their reactions towards a particular thing or particular word or sentence or whatever it is, your child is always trying to communicate with you, and the key is listening to them. And sometimes I feel that as a parent, you demand to have it your way, and I know I am guilty of this sometimes myself, where it's my way or the highway, and that's not always the case. Sometimes you've got to give that little extra patience and listen to what your child is saying, and eventually you will get your way. But it's just you've got to give them we spoke about safety, and you've got to give them that sense of feeling heard, so that they don't grow up feeling that, you know what, I'm just no one hears me, no one listens to what I have to say, and I feel that's very important.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's a key advice. And I think we all, it's a timely piece of advice, because we tend to get caught up in our own thoughts and in our own ways and in our own mindset. And I think we're all guilty of that, where we forget that our children are independent human beings, and we need to give them that sense of comfort by giving them a hearing. That's absolutely important. I just want to bring onto our screen, this is going to be making its way to you. That's our certificate, recognizing you and acknowledging you, Mohammed, for being the inaugural winner of the SuperDad Network Dad of the Month Award. Just for being an awesome dad generally, but specifically in June 2021, as motivated by your wife, Mahdia.
Jazakallah so much.
Continue doing the fantastic work that you're doing, and being an amazing dad. And we hope to be able to collaborate a little more in the future. We definitely will be in touch. And we hope that you can encourage other dads to get onto the network as well.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure. Thank you. And special thanks to your wife as well, for, I think she deserves a special treat for submitting this fantastic, narrative about you. And it's what bowled all the judges over.
Jazakallah so much.
Take care. Assalamu alaikum.